just doesn't get old, doesn't that? Does it?
One of these days, the hell was that?
One of these days, we are going to have to film ourselves bopping away while that intro is playing.
Fucking some shapes.
Good evening, Andy. How are you?
Good evening, Gareth. I'm fine, thank you. How are you, sir?
Yeah, not too bad. I'm tired, you know.
You're tired.
Yeah. What's the phrase?
Worn out.
Butter scraped over too much bread.
Spreading yourself too thin.
That's right, yes. Good evening, Gobi Rob Kenobi. Hello there. How are you? And we've got Joe as well. Josh, as always, never misses, does it? Never misses, bless him. He's going to have to join us one night.
Yeah.
Barry as well. Hello, Barry. How are you, sir? Steve's with us.
I think Josh did put his face on a video the other day, didn't he?
He has. He started putting it on, yes. I do like his little... Everyone, you need to go over and watch Josh's some of Josh's videos. He's been doing some great unboxing videos. He really has. And I love the little ingenuity he's come up with at the end now, where you get a little pop-up of him telling you to press the subscribe button. Yes, I love that. It's absolutely fantastic. Yeah, so how are we all? Yeah? What are we talking about tonight? Crossing over still, aren't we?
You were crossing over still, didn't you? Yeah.
Yeah, that's how... My imagination and creativity has just totally vanished, so I'm rinsing and repeating last week's episode.
Right.
No, the fortnight's old episode.
My starter for 10 is my lad was just my lad was just flicking through Paramount Plus, right. And he noticed that there was a Paw Patrol movie, and he went, "What? Why is there a Paw Patrol movie?" I said, "Well, they've got all new characters and they merchandise it, to hell and back at this point, basically." But I thought Paw Patrol would make an excellent crossover for Thunderbirds.
I knew you were going to say Thunderbirds.
As would things like Octonauts as well, actually, because they do nothing but rescue stuff. Yeah. So it's like, it's an obvious crossover, isn't it? But of course, they don't really seem to do much with Thunderbirds. Well, they did do Thunderbirds on Go, of course, but they don't cross over much.
No.
In fact, I was also thinking that, I was watching a little bit of the old school motion picture.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking about Spock, and it occurred to me that in a crossover-y way, Spock did one of the most grown-up things they did in Next Generation when they had Picard meet Spock in a sort of normal episode. I think it was Reunification, two-parter.
I remember
I thought that's very clever because that is an in-universe, in-timeline crossover between a previous series and the then current series. And I just thought that feels really good somehow. It feels wholesome that they've sort of knitted the two together.
Yes.
I mean, they always did that to some degree.
Well, it was always supposed to be a continuation, wasn't it?
Yeah, because McCoy, I believe, was actually in Encounter at Farpoint.
It was in one episode. I'm not sure if it was that one, but it was definitely
wasn't Farpoint. But he met Data, I think. And I think Data was giving him a ship tour or something. He was like Admiral McCoy at that point.
That's right.
Very aged, but he was in it. So again, there was actually that sort of that nice sort of link up between the two, which I always thought was not really a crossover per se, but it was kind of an interesting idea as a sort of interesting to Mario.
Steve's broke. Okay, fantastic, mate.
I hope you're going to fix it. I mean,
and Josh might be making an appearance on the Peaky Arrow channel. Oh, you poor child.
Ouch.
Awesome Star Trek Enterprise D interior design you've got there, Andy. Sean's noticed it.
Oh, noticed it. It's a bit of a monster, it has to be said. It actually defies description.
Andy, are you at Doncaster this Sunday?
Sadly, Steve, I am not, because I can't find a way to engineer it. I have both a boy and a dog with me, both of which need to be coming with me to go elsewhere on Sunday. So, unfortunately, I can't make it to my disdain, because it's my birthday the day before as well. And that would have been nice to go to Doncaster the day after my birthday, but...
Of course. Speaking of your birthday, haven't you got something running at the moment that you might want to inform the chat about?
Have I? What have I got running?
You were doing a Kickstarter thing, weren't you?
No.
No?
I'm doing a fundraiser. I've got a fundraiser.
Fundraiser, yeah.
Bobbling along on Facebook. That's just like a standard Facebook birthday thing. I wasn't putting any particular effort into it, to be honest.
All right. Well.
But thank you for noticing. Yes,
can I ask what? Can I have my money back then?
No, you can't. No, you can't. This is Yorkshire. No, you can't.
Typical. What is it you're trying to raise funds for?
It is a charity relevant to a condition that I have, actually, which I don't think I've actually mentioned on here before, but I might do it on my channel another time, perhaps. Might be because it requires me to put some thought into how I go about sort of discussing it. Okay. So I won't expand on it here because it's not really on topic here anyway. But thank you.
Fair enough. Well, I was only going to suggest that if you wish to put a link to the thing in the chat so that people can go if they want to do, I would have been more than happy for you to do that. I will. It's entirely up to you.
You might need to do that because I can't. I don't think I can post in. Mine would turn up in my chat, I think.
Do you not have a chat at the side of the screen?
I have, but it's my chat because I'm doing it on my channel at the same time, so I think it posts it on my YouTube stream rather than yours. Does that make sense? Because I've got a little linkage thing, so I don't know that it'll get on.
Right. Well, would you send me the link over? This is a very interesting live stream, isn't it? Do you want to send me the link over, and I will stick it in there for you?
I'll see if it's got its own page. Yeah.
Sean likes how your picture shows all of the decks and the warp cells.
Yeah, and it is a massive thing as well. It's
how do your new statue?
Oh, there we go.
I can't even understand that question, Joe.
Right, if I put that in there like that.
Bloody hell, it's my birthday, says Steve.
When exactly?
That's Sunday.
That's Sunday.
TJ, hello. How are you? Steve. Pod Racing Palps is here as well. Hello there. Oh God, don't think. Yeah, no, I shouldn't think.
No, it's overrated.
Shouldn't think. No.
Yeah, the
right, okay.
The full whack of the poster is that. So it's quite a huge thing. This is this one that I randomly picked up at Cromford, which I used to have in my bedroom when I was much younger, and I literally just tripped across it, and so I couldn't not pick it up again, basically.
Choose that. All right, I've come through as a clickable link. There you go, cool. Guys.
If
you're feeling kind at all, check out the charity and feel free to leave a donation. If not, we won't think any less of you.
No, we will not. No, quite right.
Talking about the statue in the shop. What statue in the shop?
Statue in the shop.
What statue in the shop, Joe?
You mean stature, as in height, or
I don't know.
Statue in the shop?
I don't have many statues in the shop.
Do you mean your action figure?
Are you talking about the figure that we did the premiere of last night? Because you called that a statue as well, didn't you?
Yes, that's what I was reaching towards that.
Harley Quinn. How do you new statue? I don't have a new Harley Quinn statue, Joe. That life-size Harley Quinn, I've had that for about 10 years now.
It's been there a while.
Yeah. Sorry.
It's been on my shop tour video as well. So yeah, it's not
new.
New.
Both breasts have it. And we've got acknowledgements to each other. It's very nice. Very nice. Cool. Right. Okay. So we're not just talking about any old crossovers this week. We're talking about crossovers that haven't happened, that we would like to happen for whatever reason at all. Do you have anything to put forward, Andy?
Do I have anything to put forward? Well, I would quite like to see. I mean, I've always been a fan of the fan-created sort of Star Wars versus Star Trek stuff.
Okay.
Versus Battlestar Galactica versus Farscape versus, So I think Star Trek's always kept itself extremely pure in that sense. I don't think it's, to my knowledge, unless maybe it's done it in the comics actually, but on screen, I don't think we've ever seen like a Star Trek Doctor Who crossover or anything like that. You know, we've never
been
seen
done in comics.
Yeah, because I suppose with those sort of universes, they tend to be very, very sort of ring fenced in TV terms. Now, obviously, we've started to see it creep in now that Marvel's been in acquisition mode. So now we are going to get more crossovers that perhaps we might have liked. But there you go. You see, yeah, we could have a. I mean, why they didn't do a Doctor Who Blake 7 crossover at that time? That would have been dead easy.
I was thinking that earlier today. Yeah.
That would have been easy peasy.
Nice pod. Okay.
What,
could you elaborate on what pod that might be? Or are you talking to Palps? Yeah, I think he's talking to Palps because he said Blake 7 trumps them all. Yeah. Sean wishes they did a Star Trek Enterprise D and the old Captain Kirk Enterprise as Transformers crossovers. That could eventually happen, considering some of the crossovers that we're getting. I never thought we'd get a Naruto Transformer, but we are doing.
Well, funny story, actually. There is actually there is an Enterprise D that does transform, and I only came across this recently.
There is, yes.
The Playmates Transwarping.
That's right.
Enterprise.
Yes, it transforms from the usual Enterprise to the Battleship Enterprise.
Yes, to the
or whatever you call it. All good things. All good things.
Yes, all good things. ED, which I think most people probably call like I think of it as sort of dreadnought.
Dreadnought, battle cruiser, whatever. Yes.
Yeah.
Richard's read a book called Sherlock Holmes and the Servants of Hell, featuring Cenobites.
Wow.
From Hellraiser. I know there's a lot of these public IP crossover books. That's interesting, is that? That's very interesting. Yes, on the Blake 7. Gremlins and Critters. You know what? I've not considered that, but yes.
Yes.
Yes, I'm there for it. Definitely. Definitely. Spoiler, the Enterprise D is a Transformer.
Well, yeah.
No, that separates, doesn't it?
It does separate. It does separate. That's right.
Enterprise Dreadnought, Blackadder, blah, blah, blah. Michael, Benty's Potty Time, and Chewbacca. Okay. Fair enough. But while I was sat waiting to get this going, what is the chud?
I've got nothing.
I'm not up on what the chud is. Tell me what the chud is.
I'm even afraid to search for it.
Yeah. Transformers crossover Enterprise D, and it transforms into Captain Picard. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, Spaceballs have already kind of done that anyway.
Yeah? Okay. Well, here's a few, and they're only fun ideas, the stupid things where I just thought a single image is what I want to see, and fans can do that anyway, but I want a crossover between Batman Forever, specifically Batman Forever, and Tron, because I want to see the Batmobile and the light cycles going down the streets of Gotham.
Cool. Nah, I get bored with that. Yep.
I just think it'd look cool. It really would.
One thing to Rolando. Rolando, if you're on my channel, you might want to be on.
Is Rolando with us? Hello, Rolando. How are you, sir?
He's not on my channel. He's on my channel, not on his Cosmic channel.
Okay. Oh, he's joined us here as well. He's joined us.
Oh yeah, cool. Okay.
I still hope they'll cross Pacific Rim with the legendary gods.
That's definitely that's got to be a given, surely, at some point.
So Chud's an old 70s film. There we are. The cannibalistic humanoid underground dwellers.
Brilliant.
Sounds awesome. Hi, everyone, he says.
Orlando.
Up on this chat. Transformers crossover. Hellboy transforms into his huge gun. Was it Baby? Or the Samaritan? That was it, wasn't it? Or did he have two? I can't remember now.
Yeah, I feel like Baby sounds right. Yeah.
So I'd quite like to see the Care Bears and the Ewoks together.
Okay.
Yeah. And the Ewoks gain the power of love and friendship and sunshine and rainbows and everything that the Care Bears have, and they use it to defeat the Stormtroopers on Endor.
With love.
Yes,
And
they love them to death.
Unicorns with adamantium horns. Yeah. What was it? What I would say Care Bears did. I think Care Bears did cross over with somebody at the time, didn't they?
Probably Popples or something like that.
Am I completely making that up? I don't know.
Huh?
Maybe they crossed over with My Little Pony or something.
Animated Batman. I can see that. I can see that working. I can also see Hellboy and Turtles crossing over quite well, depending which version of Turtles you go for.
Well, Turtles have crossed over quite a bit already, haven't they? They've done Batman.
They have. They've done Batman. They've done Ghostbusters. They've done loads of stuff.
Comics a lot.
Hellboy enters the Conjuring universe. Oh, I like that. Ewoks versus the Teletubbies. Beauty and the Beast, the Ron Perlman one.
Old school.
Linda Blair. Yeah. Double Linda Blair. It is Linda Blair, isn't it? Yeah, it is, yeah.
Linda Hamilton.
It'll be a new horror movie, Ewoks versus Care Bears. Who care to serve? Okay. Survive, possibly. Care Bear and Thundercats. Well, they already had Care Bears, didn't they? They had the Bears. Yes. Only because Linda will have dual parts. Yes, she certainly would, wouldn't she? So, Tomb Raider. She finds a device that takes her back in time, does Lara Croft.
Indiana Jones.
And crosses over with Indiana Jones. And Indy tries to lead the way, but ends up coming second fiddle every time because he thinks he's got to defend her and stick up for her, but she can handle herself.
Well, I don't know, but he's quite used to strong women, though. I'm not sure that would necessarily be a problem for him. Yeah. But yeah, interesting one though.
Now, because of the latest film, he's also used to powerful women.
I'm not sure I've seen. I think I just stopped with the indie films at some point.
Yeah.
When the Transformers kid turned up in them, I was like,
yeah. You'll like this one. This one's specifically for you, Andy. Transformers.
Yes.
Crossing over with.
Wait for it.
Robotech.
Oh.
Jetfire or Skyfire, whatever you want to call him, comes face to face.
Be a right nightmare.
with a very tech fighter, and they're just sound like stood there looking at each other as if to say, what? But then
turns out they're cousins.
Just off to the side, Macross. And you get the Spider-Man.
It'll happen. They'll all get absorbed into one great mega corporation eventually, and then all things will be possible.
Teletubbies meet Telebugs on Button Moon. The Boys and Invincible. I could see that working as well, to be fair.
That could work.
Star Wars versus Doctor Who, the Empire of the Daleks. They'd wipe out the Empire, wouldn't they, the Daleks? Although the Force is a bit... Ooh.
If you're Mace Windu or Luke, you just go...
Lara Croft bumps into Marty McFly.
Baby Daleks bumping around.
Lara Croft bumps into Marty McFly. That's an interesting one. Latte and the Littlest Hobo. Okay. We're going back some there. Clangers meet Ulysses 13.
Oh, we're going probably old school now, kids.
Right up my street, that one would be. That says Steve. How about Space 1999, the Clangers, they're both set on the moon? Fair enough. That's
Space 1999 and UFO. That's really obvious because there was a very obvious linkage there in more ways.
Robots versus Transformers. Well, I think that's nailed on, isn't it? Yeah, definitely. Another one, and I've said this before. But Enterprise and Quantum Leap.
Yeah.
Just an episode of Archer acting really, really strange, getting caught talking to himself. And even better if it's that Dean Stockwell episode. Because
I'm sure I would have said this to you at the time, though.
I know. It's got to be
lifetime.
That we know of. He only has to leap forward past his lifetime once or before his lifetime once, and it breaks that rule, doesn't it?
And you know, it's not like Star Trek never does time travel.
Exactly. Yeah, there is that as well. But yeah, there being that Dean Stockwell episode as well.
I know. That's what I thought at the time.
Where he's actually talking.
You did, didn't you?
Where he's actually talking to him, but then sort of like, you look just like someone that I know. And the audience realizes that Ziggy stood beside him.
Yeah, that was like Spaceballs. It's like that, but in Spaceballs when they get the videotape of the film and fast forward to find out what's going to happen next. It's set in the future, therefore they have access to the film because it came out in the past, so they can just watch it and find out what's going to happen.
I've got a funny feeling that'd be a very short film, Richard. Flipper versus Jaws. Buttermilk and UFO. Free Willy and Debbie Does Dallas. Now that's an interesting one, isn't it? Yes.
A double entendre in the film title itself.
Definitely. Kit and Dukes of Hazzard. Knight Rider and Dukes of Hazzard. Little Obo versus Lassie. A race against time. What little Tommy is down the way. Gentle Ben meets the. Oh, I'm glad to see we're all having fun with this one.
Yeah.
John Carter versus Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars. Okay. What? It could be Warlord of the Spiders from Mars.
I want to see Robo Jocks versus Power Rangers versus Pacific Rim.
Robot Jocks. There needs to be more Robot Jocks anyway. Airwolf and Blue Thunder. You had to go there, didn't you? You had to go there.
Fair. Somebody's already done that on YouTube quite well, actually, if I remember rightly.
Wouldn't surprise me at
all. All sorts of team ups you can find on there that you wouldn't expect.
Now, I think Josh will like this suggestion. Chucky and Megan.
Oh.
And Tiffany gets all jealous when he meets Megan. Now, I'd like to see. This is a big one. The Star Trek.
Mm-hmm.
Buck Rogers.
Yeah.
Transformers. Thundercats.
Her.
Forbidden Planet. Star Wars. Has anyone guessed where I'm going yet? Godzilla.
The universe.
Batman. Masters of the Universe. Doctor Who. And an Evel Knievel crossover. And it's called the Cosmic Council.
I thought you were going to do a clip or something. I thought you'd rate got something in your back pocket then. That's a missed opportunity, that. It comes AI generated.
Oh, that would be awesome, wouldn't it? Yeah. Josh is on board for the Chucky and Megan one. Ghostbusters versus Haunted House. No, Ghostbusters versus Casper. Which one are you going to root for?
I thought Tripods was War of the Worlds, effectively. I suppose it isn't technically, is it? But
no, it's a different IP, isn't it?
It is, yeah, it is, yeah.
So yeah, that was Richard. Whoever wins has to face off against Mars Attacks. Batteries not included in Transformers. We just need. Oh, you know, I say this. We need more batteries not included. We might need more robot jocks and everything. If they were to make them now, they'd ruin them.
Yeah, I think a lot of these things are of their time. I mean, I'm hoping to get Last Starfighter and Silent Running on disc for my birthday, and I'm just thinking they're so of their time. Yes,
very much so.
You know, they just get left out of theaters at this point, and yet for me, growing up, properly sort of core memory time for me, those two massively. You know, I too can have a career as a starfighter. You see, I told you.
Danger, danger, Mr. Robinson. Megatron has arrived. So I'm guessing that's Lost in Space versus Transformers.
Space versus, yeah.
Sapphire and Steel versus the MCU. How about the Avengers versus the Avengers?
The Avengers, yes.
Johnny 5 versus those robots from Chopping Mall. Have I seen Chopping Mall?
Chopping Mall.
I've seen one that might be Chopping Mall, but it could also be something else.
Johnny 5 versus the Terminator.
It probably would be Terminator that wins that one, sadly.
Well, I thought he's got a pretty good laser cannon.
It has. Yeah.
What
Weird
else?
Warriors versus Wacky Races. Wheeled Warriors versus Wacky Races, maybe. Last Starfighter was great.
Versus Robocop.
What are we crossing it over with? I still need to see Last Starfighter. Danger Mouse and the Bike and Mice from Mars.
I'm sorry. Rewind.
I've still to see the Last Starfighter. Yeah,
oh.
I know. I'll get around to it. Battle of the Planets, Gatchaman. Oops, Infinity Force. Well, yeah.
Battle of the Planets is Gatchaman.
Gatchaman. Yeah,
Gatchaman would kick Battle of the Planets bottom because they're hardcore, whereas Battle of the Planets isn't.
Infinity Force that he's talking about there is that manga where a girl draws something in a book and her imagination power brings it to life. So she keeps drawing. I forget which one. It's the white costumed one from them. Is it Mark or Jason? Mark. There we go. And he comes to life to save her from being bullied and whatever else.
Right.
Yes.
Got you.
And yes, he meant the Wheeled Warriors and Wacky Races.
Wheeled Warriors.
TJ Work in Progress and the Cosmic Council. One day, definitely, we'll have to have you on, won't we?
Death match.
I wish they made a real RoboCop versus Terminator. It could work.
The comics have been, again, and there is animation of it as well, I believe. But yeah,
In fact, a bit more to combat. Jamie and the Magic Torch. Terrifier and Freddy Krueger.
About Will the Wisp versus somebody. Do you remember Evil Etna?
Oh, Evil Etna was awesome. It's just anything with Kenneth Williams. RoboCop joins the police academy. Like that. Mark or Ken. Okay. Yes, Sean, the game was great and would love to see a film. Killer Clowns versus Critters. Interesting.
Critters versus Alien.
Rhubarb and Custard versus Batman and Robin. Oh, God, I haven't heard that in years. Wow, that takes me back. Just that. Right, okay, I've got one more. I've got one more for you. Yes, I know that you thought the Cosmic Council lineup was going to be the last one, but no. One more that I did have prepared. And this is something that I thought of a little while ago. And The Ring, where Sadako crawls out of the TV to end your life in a very murderous and nasty-looking way. Cross that over with, and it has been mentioned a couple of times, the Teletubbies. The Tellies can actually chase you before she starts crawling out.
Right.
I'd love to see. I'd just love to see
Gareth's medication.
I'd just love to see that actually in a kids' show. That it's Teletubbies as it normally would be, and then that happens and she starts murdering. It's the response of the kids that I want to see.
They probably just giggle. They probably the kids are probably about this big. Bear in mind, they're watching Teletubbies.
Fair enough.
You would hope.
Oh God, Joshy wants me dead. Cosmic Toyman versus Alien.
You'd have to run very quickly. That's all.
I would, wouldn't I? I would. Terminator enters Logan Run's universe. I've not seen Logan's Run either. Doctor Who and Casualty. Now that's something that could happen.
Yes. Well, I think they transport Hospital to the Moon once in an episode, as I recall. So I think technically they've probably already done it.
Smurfs versus Supernatural. So would that be Dean and Sam versus Gargamel?
Apparently. They did
Take
do a
care,
live.
Sean. Look after
Oh my God,
yourself.
they did. Bye, sure. They did do a live action Smurfs, didn't they? Well, the Smurfs weren't live action, but Gargamel was, I think.
Yeah, I think he was, but yeah, the Smurfs were animated.
The Flumps.
The Flumps get sent to the community service in Bagpuss. Smurfs versus the Snorks. Sean, I thought you were going. Bye-bye. Take care, Sean. Bye, Sean. Bye, everyone. He's going to go eventually, he swears.
Moss Chops versus Godzilla.
Moss Chops? What's Moss Chops?
He doesn't know what Moss Chops is.
I don't know what Moss Chops is.
Moss Chops is a very, very cute dinosaur who likes to sniff the flowers.
Oh, right. Okay. I think Godzilla would probably win.
I feel that he probably would. Given that he's got radioactive fire breath. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was a bit of a shoe-in. But
do you think if he was ever to brush his teeth, it wouldn't be quite so bad?
No. You'd never find a toothbrush that big, sadly.
Minister's question time versus Bill and Ben.
The flower pot men, for those of us not of a certain age.
So it's just the thought of next time that what's his name, the speaker. It's not Burkow, is it? He's gone now.
No, he's gone. Yeah,
the other guy.
No, I've actually listened to Houses of Parliament for ages. Must admit.
But, the next time he opens his mouth, someone turns around and says to him, "Okay, little wee."
It's an April Fool's waiting to happen, I feel.
Hello, Gap. Haven't seen you for a long while. How are you doing?
Gap.
Are you well? Oh, everyone's saying hello to Gap now.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I'm. Well, I don't know if I'm wanting to try and think of any. You could just go on forever, couldn't you?
I've seen a lot of there's a guy called Spatial Katana, and he does a lot of 3D rendered stuff on YouTube in sort of old school styles, and he's constantly blowing up the Enterprise using things like Babylon 5 battle crabs and things of this nature. So that's a Babylon 5 Star Trek crossover is also one that gets rolled out pretty frequently.
Ready Player One versus the MCU.
Oh, interesting.
Isn't Ready Player One set in the future though?
It's
a future.
It is, but I don't think it's far future particularly.
No, so it could happen then. It could.
Mm.
He'll gap. Hartley Hair and Watership Down. Here's a better one. Watership Down and Bugs Bunny. I'd love to see him die.
Oh. I think Bugs Bunny is officially immortal.
Doing good. How are you? I'm not bad.
Yeah, we're doing all right.
Andy's not bad. Two gents doing, yeah, okay. Everyone, yeah, we're all good, I think. We're all good. Buck Rogers, Tweaky, and Metal Mickey. Here's one from the past, from British TV past. Grot Bags and Teabag. Do you remember Teabag?
I can't picture Teabag.
No, it was an ITV kids show. And she was the evil queen or wicked teabag witch type woman, but she was always presented to be beautiful and everything.
All right.
Yeah. Never mind.
You had to be there, clearly.
I was up for Fast and Furious crossing over into Jurassic World. So you got some really nice cars being chased by T-Rexes.
By dinosaurs and other genetically engineered monstrosities, yes.
Pod Racing Pops would watch that. Watership Down. Oh, here we go. Hello, Kyle Ken. Long time no see. Scalextrics and Wheeled Warriors, Lego and Godzilla. I'd like to see Lego Godzilla full stop.
You've got a Lego Godzilla.
No, proper Lego Godzilla. Studio Ghibli and Junji Ito. They're too nice, aren't they? I'd like to see Studio Ghibli take on something like Junji Ito, but
it's nice. Ghibli's not always nice. Can be very dark, Ghibli.
Yeah, but the stories they're always nice and kiddie friendly. JoshyyBoyyToys is not kiddie friendly.
Okay.
Yeah. Studio Ghibli is Japanese Disney, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
It is. Yeah. Not modern day Disney. Disney when Disney was good. Yeah, teabag. Teabag. Not teabagging. That's an entirely different thing.
Yes, it is, yes.
Rent-A-Ghost, Meet the Ghostbusters.
But I don't know if I mentioned, but I did finish watching that series. You were asking me if I...
Oh, you did? We'll have a talk about that in a little while then. Yes. Simon Templar and Bond.
Oh, yes.
Toy Story and Small Soldiers. Are they not just the same thing anyway? But yeah, I can see that. I can see that. You could have the Gorgonites teaming up with Buzz and Woody and all of Andy's toys versus the troops, whatever they were called.
The
Commandos, yeah. Teaming up with the toys next door. What, Vicious Sid or whatever his name is.
Yes, the more aggressive inventory. Yeah,
that'll be cool. Bloodsport versus Pokemon. Have you just got a random IP generator on your phone?
Just one of those as well. That's probably a thing.
The Avengers, Saint, Bond, Sapphire and Steel, and Men from U.N.C.L.E. Wow. Grave of the Fireflies had been crying. I've seen that one yet. There's that many Ghiblis that I've still to see.
Yeah, I can't remember if I skipped that one or not. I may have watched it once. I remember seeing some in the cinema. They did a whole season of Ghiblis in the cinema once in Sheffield.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Years back.
Dragon Ball Z and Thundercats.
Saryuken. That's Street Fighter, isn't it?
That should be Street Fights versus Pokemon. Okay. Toy Story crosses over with the X-Files.
maybe Toy Story is a crossover.
Gareth versus Andy. That's just one night when we both set our premieres for the same time.
We fisticuffs.
No, we couldn't fight against each other.
No.
We like each other.
We're lovers, not fighters.
No.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? I was going to come up with something just really wacky. I was literally just, because of that, I was just going to pick out two random things, like, I don't know, say Alex Kidd versus RoboCop.
They should have Battle Beasts versus Pokemon.
Oh, Battle Beasts versus Pokemon would be quite cool, yeah. Tremors invade the Ewok village. You really are just going random now, aren't you?
Plus streakers, plus ass blasters.
I'm watching Star Wars. Oh my word! What have we started?
It's the Stormtroopers what done it.
My Little Pony versus Voltron wouldn't be so far-fetched when you think that there's a My Little Pony and Transformers crossover. I was going to say earlier though, Voltron crossing over with either Power Rangers or Transformers. And some of his bits get broken off, and he has to
they're all vehicles. All vehicles that combine to make big robots.
Exactly.
You're there already. Just still have poor human beings inside them.
Judge Dredd versus everyone. Isn't that every issue of 2000 AD?
Here's the law.
Yes, Judge Dredd, says TJ.
Actually, Judge Dredd has had a surprising number of crossovers already.
Yes. Mostly with DC stuff.
Batman, Aliens. He's done quite a few.
Yeah. Well, there was the Judge Dredd versus Aliens versus Predator. Judge Dredd versus Aliens, Judge Dredd versus Predator. Obviously, the Batman ones, which there's at least 3 of I can think of, which I showed you last time.
Yep.
Ivor the Engine versus Thomas the Tank Engine.
Oh, that's a good match right there.
Yeah.
Ivor the Engine.
I had an Ivor the Engine VHS back when I was a child. I had lots of Thomas the Tank. Thomas the Tank Engine was my jam when I was a kid. Like this is me now. When I was 4, it was Thomas the Tank Engine. And Yeah, I had one VHS of either.
Does anyone remember Jason of Star Command?
Jason of Star Command?
Yeah.
No, I don't remember that.
Look it up sometime when we're not live. It's got James Doohan in it. Would you believe?
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
in a science fiction that isn't Star Trek role. It's
Captain Pugwash and the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Nice. Captain Pugwash is able-bodied seaman with an A. Yes.
Dear me.
Just trying to get sent to demolition.
Just trying to get sent to demolition that time frame.
Why?
Andy Miller versus Fossil Fuel. Jason of Star Command had Scotty from Star Trek in it. He's got there with you.
Yeah.
And Palps remembers it.
We had it on Channel 4. I think it was one of Channel 4's really early shows.
Okay, it's interesting.
Yeah.
See, I wasn't around in the early days of Channel 4.
You do not remember the joys of Super Ted.
Oh, I remember Super Ted very well.
Yeah.
Spotty Man was actually voiced by John Pertwee.
Ah.
The Third Doctor. Yes.
There you go.
Predator, Rambo, and WWE. Why the WWE?
She has the power.
I mean, I'd like to, not now, but in the 80s and 90s, I would have liked to have seen a Stallone versus a Predator film.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would. That would have been quite cool. It would have literally been Rambo versus Predator, wasn't it?
Yeah. Which basically was his Predator, basically.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I hope Hollywood isn't watching this stream with all these ideas. I know they'll destroy all of our childhoods.
Kind of done it already. That's okay. Can't actually get any worse at this point.
Banana Man versus Heath Ledger's Joker. You know, there was a customer who called into the shop today. It was the first time they'd ever been in, and he was asking me something about wrestling figures, and it was something. Wrestling's not my thing, never has been, and I was totally oblivious to what he was asking about. So I just said, "I'm sorry." I said, "Wrestling, not my thing. I can't help you on that one." So he just, "Oh, well, what is it you're interested in then? What is your thing?" So and I just said, "Well," I said, and I'm looking back at my past because obviously at the moment there's quite a lot of things. So I was trying to think of things that I've always been into for a very long time. And I said, Star Wars and Doctor Who. And then this film just came out of my eyes. And I was like, both of which have been destroyed now.
Oh, no.
And he just went, "Oh, you sound like a proper geek." He said, "That answer is like, this is what I really like, but they've destroyed it now."
They destroyed it.
And I said, "Yeah, what's the phrase? They've destroyed my childhood. That's it. That's what they've done." Jack Lemmon's character from The Odd Couple has to move in with either bottom or the young one's flat. I don't know The Odd Couple, so I couldn't comment on that one. I'm not.
Oh, I think I vaguely get why that would be a thing. Yeah.
Okay. Well, at least Andy knows what you're on about, Richard. I have no clue. Oh well, that was fun. I can't believe we've milked 45 minutes out of that.
Easily done. I once quietly derailed one of Salacious's videos, and I just started something because we started putting rum or something into the middle of film titles. It exploded slightly inadvertently.
Where's all Gummidge and the X-Files?
Yeah, X-Files. The truth is out there in them fields.
But before you go investigating, how about a cup of tea and a piece of cake?
Why change my head? Yeah.
Monkey and water margin, are they not just the same thing anyway? I say this having not seen them.
Monkey was. I remember Monkey is one of my formative memories.
Yeah, they're on my wish list, both of them. Who would you pitch the Punisher against, or Howard the Duck?
Howard the Duck versus Daffy Duck.
That seems too on the nose.
Yeah.
Howard the Duck versus Tweaky.
Size is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they can irritate each other.
Quite possibly.
How
the Duck
Punisher. See, straight away, my mind's going Batman, but it's like they're too similar.
I don't know, but I think Punisher versus Predator would kind of work because he's definitely got that sort of mindset. But then it would have to be the Punisher versus the Joker or something like that, wouldn't it? Someone who needs the punishment.
Well, he goes after the Mafia, so how about the Falcons? Oh, Penguin. Penguin. Yeah.
Penguin, yeah, Penguin would work, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a good one. Honor Blackman. I see the actor who played Pigsy passed away recently. Oh, did he? That's sad.
Jeff Capes has passed away. I just saw in the news actually as well.
I just saw that on my feed earlier.
Yeah.
The Muppets and Dark Crystal.
Mm.
Oh, you know, I'm being so anal here that I'm like, yes, but the Dark Crystal is Muppets because they're puppets that were created by Jim Henson.
True story. Doesn't prevent a crossover though necessarily.
It doesn't at all. No, the Muppets and Sesame Street.
But what I actually in my head for some reason, I don't know particularly why, but again, it might be the Henson-esque element. I often think Dark Crystal Labyrinth.
Yes, yeah. To me, my headcanon, they exist in the same world anyway.
Mm. Yeah. Never-ending story in Dark Crystal.
Ooh. Again, they've run that into the ground, haven't they?
What? Yeah. It's not a never-ending story anymore, you mean?
No, well... Did you ever see the sequels?
They did do a sequel, didn't they? Yeah,
they did 2 or 3. Yeah, and yeah.
Which I suppose they had to because it's never ending.
Never ending. It's like you wish it ended because they look very good. Elmer Fudd would go against Punisher.
You waffly wabbit.
No, Joshy. No. Oh, Punisher versus absolutely fabulous. I'm sorry, our American friends have got no idea what this is. Punisher would win.
Who remembers Press Gang? There you go.
It rings a bell.
Yeah, it's one of my formative crushy type programs. That because it had a very young Julia Sawalha in it.
Ah, okay.
The ABBA linkage. Yeah.
You could really get into stuff by crossing over things like you said Julia Sawalha, so my mind went straight to Jonathan Creek then. So Jonathan Creek in Columbo.
Yeah.
Murder, She Wrote and Hercule Poirot. David Suchet.
The thing that always amused me, you know, when you can do that sort of was it called 3 Degrees of Separation? Is it? Yeah, Dexter Fletcher. Yeah.
Is it 5?
5 degrees, is it? Yeah.
I think it's 5. Yeah.
It was like sort of you could pick a random film and then think how many other linkages you can get to, for other stuff that you've ever seen before, sort of thing. Because I was thinking like Battle Beyond the Stars. Because you can go from there to like things like the Waltons and the A-Team and sort of the Man from U.N.C.L.E. and just like all just completely random, and you just sort of wonder where that trail would eventually lead you to into the modern day if you could do it,
There was a film, 5 Degrees of Separation. It was really good. Will Smith one, I believe.
All right.
Yeah. It's a really good. I suppose you'd say theory, wouldn't you? Or premise. It's the fact that we are all so closely connected that you can choose someone else in the world anywhere, and you will be able to find a way where you're only separated by 5 people or something.
Yeah. Interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, really, really interesting. It's like I didn't realize that me and Spielberg were such close friends. Punisher versus Steptoe. I just feel sorry for all these people going up against Punisher because he's going to beat them all. Bionic Man versus Bionic Woman. Did they not do that?
They had many team-ups, I believe. I don't know if they ever actually fought each other as such, but...
Punisher in the Carry On universe. Carry On Punishing. That sounds like a totally different kind of Carry On film to me.
Do you know Sandra Bullock was actually in a $1 billion about a sort of $1 million man universe film when she was very young?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
She was like the next generation of bionic people, and ended up. I think she ended up battling a Russian bionic person or something. But basically, she was. It must be one of her really early roles, much the same way that Scarlett Johansson was in one of the Home Alone sequels. In one of her very early roles. Oh yeah, very randomly.
Wow,
I think it was like Home Alone 4 or something.
Bionic Woman 2.0. That could be it. I think Palp's suggesting that.
I have no idea what it was called. No idea.
There we go.
I'm sure we'll be able to find it though if you have a quick search.
Would you like me to?
Go for it. I'm pretty sure it's
Sandra Bollocks. That's this video getting demonetized.
Biological term, it's fine.
Bionic Showdown it's coming up with.
That could be it.
Bionic Showdown, the $6 Million Man and the Bionic Woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it also features, as I say, the younger versions. I imagine they were probably thinking spin-off series off the back of it.
All right. Okay, fair enough. Yep, there we are. So, have we got any new pickups to discuss? Oh, he's got something.
Pew, pew.
Yeah, I picked that up recently. He's had that a little while now.
Well, once I found it again, yeah.
That's
a pretty good sound effect actually on it, fair dues.
There you go. You can show it off better now.
Whee! It's a very sort of limited. See, got a little light.
Cap's going to tell us how he's got one of those.
It's yeah. So this was quite limited. It's they're calling it a classic Star Trek movie series phaser.
Yeah,
because it is the one that was in. I think it was in 2 and maybe 3. Possibly even 4. Actually, thinking about it. But it says motion picture in the Wrath of Khan on the front of it, doesn't it? But I'm sure that was in Search for Spock as well. But I remember him sort of clobbering one of the little beasties in Star Trek 2 with one of those. That's my sort of memory of this one.
Okay.
But no, it's quite good. It's surprisingly sturdy, and it's an incredibly soft trigger as well. You know how normally it's like a solid plastic, but they've blended it into the actual grip, which is quite clever of them, I thought. So it doesn't do as much as a modern day one would do, but you've got a belt clip. Look, so you can put that on your belt.
Well, it's from late 80s, early 90s.
I would imagine it's sort of midish or early 90s. Because that Playmates were doing stuff in the 90s almost exclusively, I think, at least on the Star Trek front, I think.
Steve's picked up 2 Space 1999 22-inch Eagles. He's now got 3 in total, so he can build all 3 versions.
Wow.
Oh, it's potty time and tribbles.
What, freighter, science and transport?
Well, Gap's noticed your background. He sees that now out of jail.
Gap has noticed all is well with the world. I can't actually see a year on here. Used to be sold in BTs. This one, of course.
Of course, it did.
As many things do, or did.
So, anything else you've got?
It was like about 96, I think, on that one. Apparently, not that I've got to hand actually, no.
Oh, okay, fair enough. We'll go back to that then. Yeah. So, Richard did say "Stairway to Heaven" make it to its Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I don't know if that's another crossover he's thinking of. Andy, it's Eagle 1, white, Rescue, red stripes, and VIP, orange.
Oh, okay. So all transport type Eagles then, but with different pod colorations.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
They've all got the standards of transporter pod. But then red stripes is rescue, and then the orange one is VIP.
Richard's got, if you have a look at his little profile picture there, he's got a current Sharkticon figure, now just called Nor. Maybe it always has been. I think the original one was called Nor, to be honest with you. Yeah, but people would buy several of them so they could be the Sharkticons. Yeah. My pickup this week, everything except one chest in Hogwarts Legacy. Excellent. Well done. That's why I was after somebody to 3D print 2 more pods. He's talking about me there. He did send me some files to print, but my 3D printers are still not up and running. One day.
2027, give or take.
Yeah.
Or maybe $29.99, who knows?
One day. I have got a couple of pickups that I can show you. Nothing, well, it is special, but you guys won't think it's special. But before I go on to that, I've got something else to show just because of a stupid thing that happened today in the shop.
Oh.
I had a phone call, a weekly phone call every week from Games Workshop.
Oh, yeah.
They ring me up. It's essentially to do a mini stock take to see what they might need to send out to top up the shelves with. And I've run out of their carrier bags. You know, the normal sized ones, not the big ones, but the normal sized ones.
Ironically, one of those will feature in my video tomorrow night.
Quite possibly. So I said, can I have some more carrier bags, please? And she said, oh, we don't do them anymore. I said, you don't do carrier bags anymore? She said, no, we just do the tote bags. I said, right. She said, do you want any tote bags? I said, well, not really, no. I said, I wanted carrier bags. I said, will you be getting any more in? She said, no, because we've gone green and eco-friendly. She said, we're not doing plastic carrier bags anymore. And I just burst out laughing over the phone, and I mean belly laughing. And when I finally stopped, she said, what are you laughing at? And I said, well, you deal as a company in these. How much of that plastic is getting thrown away?
It's a fair point. It's a fair point, well made, sir.
I said, so you're so worried about a plastic carrier bag, which the customers who have them off me do reuse. They're bringing them back and using them all the time. I said, but you're quite happy to have half of this thrown in the bin all the time. Yeah, we use these bits, but we don't use any of this.
Don't use the surrounds. Unless you're using them as wreckage on the floor or something, yeah.
I mean, some people do turn it into sprue goo, but to use it as a glue type thing. But
all right.
Yeah, it's not common. It's not common. So I've got a couple of Godzilla pieces to show you.
Cool.
They will be in the next What's New at Cosmic Toys video because they came in on a delivery.
Gareth, over your right shoulder, is that a Gundam book on that shelf, or is that something else? Or is it a box? Yeah.
It's not Gundam.
Ah.
You have seen this before.
Ah. Okay. Because this reminded me of something, actually. I'm going to have a little rummage whilst you speak to the good people. Because it just reminded me of something.
I say it's not a Gundam. It kind of is.
Well, yeah. I mean,
but it's not Gundam.
It's a piloted mecha, so yeah. Yeah. I'm sure. What if I've still got it on? Let's see what's in here.
I quite like the box art on that one, so it gets displayed there. Anyway, so yeah, picked up, well, not picked up, but had delivered a lovely Mecha Godzilla, translucent clear plastic with some pinky peachy orangey bits on his tail there, bit of pink there, isn't there? And silver and yellow for the eyes. So yeah, quite like that one. It's a CCP middle-sized one. And, oh, I like this one. I'll show you the card topper for that one as well. That's the card topper for it. There we are.
Cool.
And I got my first Marusan. It might not be because I've got a funny feeling that might be Marusan, that glow in the dark one there. If not that, then possibly that. So I may already have a Marusan and not realise it, but I actually ordered this one as a Marusan. There's the card topper for that one. Some lovely retro artwork on it. Love that green-headed King Ghidorah. Or as Kaioken would say, Kinky Daughter. But yeah, it's this one. I've got a very, very nice. I do quite like this. A very, very nice glow in the dark. Another glow in the dark one. Godzilla. With some very fetching green and blue livery on it. So yeah. No idea where that's going to go in those rather overfilled cabinets right now. But yeah,
I can't find what I was looking for. That just sparked some things. I've got a Gundam book somewhere.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I've literally just remembered when I saw that. It just sort of it fired something in my head, and but I can't see it on my shelves here. So it might be downstairs somewhere, which is a whole different investigation. So I'll have to look for that another day, I think. I can't see it.
I've got a bit of catching up to do on the chat. So Steve says it wasn't just me that let him down on the 3D printing. He asked Mark last year too. Typical. Gap's got to go, so enjoy your dinner. Gap. Enjoy your dinner. Mark's with us. Hello. How you doing, Mark?
Ah, Mark. Yes,
long time no see.
Oh, his Batmobile video last night.
That as well, yes. If you haven't seen it, guys, head over to his channel and watch his latest Batmobile video. Very, very nice. I'll wait until mine turns up and I do one. Hello, Adam. How are you? Joining us this late? Shouldn't you be getting ready to go to bed? You got school in the morning, young man.
Maybe it's half term.
That's next week, isn't it?
It's not for mine, but yes, for some people.
Oh, right, okay. Anyway. Right, my kids, it's next week. They break up on Friday this week. Right, well, you're back now, so we'll go back to this. Mark, Mario, and Adam says, Joshy, they make plastic. Yeah, exactly. All of their stuff is made out of plastic. Even their box, I mean, they even pack these in plastic. Yeah? All of their boxes come shrink wrapped. They could just tape the ends down, but they shrink wrap them.
Well, it's a bit like Lego doing it, because Lego was sort of saying, well, we're going to start making Lego out of different stuff, and yet they were still sending Lego out in plastic bags in the boxes.
Oh, they've now moved to paper bags, I believe.
Well, it has been a while since I did that. They had been suggesting they were going to do that. In fairness,
James has joined us. Hello.
Hello.
That guy in your profile picture, I think I've got a figure of him at the shop.
Yeah, he could be one of your Master Rider types, Cayman Riders. Yes.
That's right, yes. What are we talking about? Well, we've been talking about crossovers again, and crossovers that we'd like to see. But we're done with that now, and we're moving on, and we're just... I'm going to say a naughty word then. We're just talking the poop. We're just talking rubbish. I thought you just said hello. You did.
You might have picked him out before, perhaps.
Godzilla, yes, it's Godzilla. It looks Gundam-ish to you. Yeah, it's Gundam-ish. Yes, ish. Being the operative word there. Click. There we go. So, anyone making workshop stuff, take your bits back to the shop for recycling. Yeah, exactly. Oh, don't, because they would probably end up doing that. You can, to a certain degree, reuse that plastic. It gets broken down into little tiny bits and mixed in with the new. You can only do it sort of like 10 to 90%. But if they were to start asking that, that's another job for me to do. And no, thank you. Translucent mecha, definitely. I'm not as good as changing Transformers as I used to be. No, but that looks cool, does that, Richard?
That's a good Sharkticon. Yeah, that
looks very cool. Bro, I got an advert.
Okay, bro.
Okay. I want to know what the advert was. Glow in the dark 54 Goji. That's the one. That's the one. Thank you, Mario. My holiday's next week, says Adams. Fair enough. So yeah, you should be getting ready for bed. Cool video, Mark. It was cool. It was. Jack Specific new Shadow the Hedgehog figure is on the way. Excellent. It was supposed to come on Monday, but well, it'll get there. Glad you enjoyed it. It's pushed you over 3,000 subs. Excellent. Well done. Kate, I actually thought you were well past that, to be honest. Cayman Red Type 0 is in my profile picture. The figure is out in December. You're probably meaning SH Figure Arts, aren't you? No, I'm meaning the old Bandai soft vinyl kind of stuff. I've got one that looks like that. If it's not that, it looks very similar. I think Godzilla is a rabbit hole I've never been down. Maybe after someone finds where to start.
Start at the Cosmic Toys Emporium, sir. There are many Godzillas in the cabinet.
My advice to anyone considering starting to collect Godzilla now would be don't. Because it's a very, very deep and alluring rabbit hole.
That's a bit self-defeating there, sir. I would ignore that advice. La la la, you can just play that, edit it later.
Yeah, but I've seen how much he must have been spending because he's been buying carded droids figures. Yeah. You don't need to be adding to that kind of expenditure. Sean's back.
Presumably his front is also here.
Welcome back, Sean, says TJ. And I'll reiterate that. Welcome back, Sean. I feel like I've got something in my eye. Excuse me. Oh.
Don't blink. They move when your eyes are shut.
Yeah, this is it, isn't it? And I've got a couple of other things on the table that I could show you, but since I've done unboxing videos of them, I'm going to wait and let you see them in whatever unboxing video that is. They're being filmed, they just need editing.
Cool.
So Gareth, I did you something. I did that crossover with the ring you like. It's a drawing on Messenger. Is that where you disappeared to? Oh my word.
You heard it here first.
Okay, I see where you're going with it. I think you misunderstood me. I've just thought of another crossover though. And you're to blame for this one. Okay, yeah. So Will-O-the-Wisp crossing over with the ring. Evil Edna with evil Sadako coming out of her.
Twice evil.
I'll see if I can share it, Sean. Right, it's can I? Please appear on my computer sometime soon. My phone says that it's synced. My computer says that it is synced, and yet it is on my phone and not on my computer.
Why do we not live in the world where we can just flick stuff from our phone?
Yeah, like Iron Man. When it appears, I will pop it up on screen. I've been the deepest in that Godzilla rabbit hole. Possibly. I need one Smurf to finish my collection. Oh, do you know? Which one? Steve wants to know which one.
It's the invisible one.
Yeah. I've been trying to buy the droids figures loose. Turns out they're only 10 to £20 dearer carded. Really? Although I've got a loose Kia Mall today. Okay. Okay. I forgot to mention that Godzilla in Hell book is amazing. Oh, good. I'm glad you enjoyed that. That's the James Stokoe one, isn't it? I really enjoyed his other one, which is the Half-Century War, Godzilla's Half-Century War. That's really, really good. It follows a man throughout the events of the Godzilla films, the early ones. and he's a soldier in that first Godzilla film, and he sees Godzilla as you would do, as the enemy, the monster that you've got to defeat, and due to events that happen and other monsters turning up and Godzilla defeating them and preventing them from doing more damage to the city, to the country, he ends up supporting Godzilla in the end and trying to help him to defeat, I think it's King Ghidorah. It's quite a good story. He kind of realizes that he's a necessary evil. Right, I'm going to show you Sean's picture, if I can present it. Let me see if I can present it. Slides? Is it? Oh. Share screen. That one. There we go. Share. There we go.
Yeah, that is nightmare fuel.
It certainly is, isn't it?
Evil Teletubbies.
Evil Teletubbies, yeah. But no, what I was going for was the girl coming out of the TV through their bellies. That's what my head was.
Double E.
No, I can see what you've done there. Very, very good, Sean.
That reminds me of the chap who used to do the Roald, Quentin Blake, who did the Roald Dahl illustrations.
Yes,
the girl's hair being all sort of wavy and up.
Yes. Yeah, I can see that, definitely. I can see that. Smurfettes. I've seen them on eBay.
No,
just haven't got around to it. I've been consumed by making your costume. Don't tell me you're dressing up as Smurfette. Are you? On a mission, says James, to get all of the 01 SH figure arts. It's going to be a pricey mission.
Sounds like
far. How many are there?
Yeah.
How many are there? I could be your dealer.
I was laughing today actually because I was looking at I was doing the doom scrolling bit on eBay. And,
that was Droids versus RoboCop.
Yeah.
Go on.
I was sort of going, oh yeah, that's quite a cheap action figure. That's a cheap action figure. That's a Joy Toy. No, it wasn't a Joy Toy. Oh, what was it?
McFarlane?
No, it was something else. They're even like, what they called now? Gone out of my head now. It wasn't Joy Toy. It was something else. But as soon as I saw the name, I knew it was going to be horrendously expensive. Like 10 times the price of everyone else's.
SH figure arts, Hot Toys.
Hot Toys, I think it was. Yeah, and it was like, whoa.
And what was it?
I can't even remember what it was. Now. I was literally, I was just doom scrolling, but it was just like, it was probably something bat related. And it was like, as soon as I hit one like that, I went, yep, that's kind of what I thought it would be.
Oh, yeah. Richard has his eye on some of the Godzilla novels at Cosmic Toys. Always has quite expensive taste. It's only because they've never reprinted them. They should reprint them. They make them more available to other people, especially now. There's the bigger audience now.
But if they're just normal novels, wouldn't they be on Kindle or something?
Not always the case. But Richard, just like myself, would rather have the physical copy.
No, I get that. I get that completely. Yeah.
Me too, Richard. I'm draining me and my parents' money on Gareth's Hire Toys and SH Monster Arts Godzilla figures. No, she's not characters in Hogwarts Legacy. Fair enough. Barry Trotter. Look in the eyes of Poe and dips it in the TV on the drawing. You see the red dot in their eyes. Okay. There are vids of me making the costume. My hat is awesome. Oh, excellent. I'll have to check them out. I don't think I've had any of your videos suggested to me for a while. I need to go and rectify that. Bloody advert team. Oh, right. Okay. Our advert's popping onto the stream. Oh, I do apologize.
He's got his midstream ads going as they go. I tend not to activate those, but.
Oh, is that what Adam meant earlier?
Oh, maybe then. Yeah, maybe.
Right. Okay. Sorry. I understand now.
I didn't even think that happened for live things, but perhaps it's obviously an option then.
I didn't either.
I think we're live that often rather. So
see, I thought it happened when live shows were played back later.
Right.
Because I do have it set, and I do have it set to YouTube's recommendations, which I think is mid-roll. Well, when do they know when we're in the middle of it if we're still live?
No,
we could go on for 12 hours for all they know.
That does seem odd.
We're not going to. Just looking for an Arc 1 from 01 because he's hard to find, but only found it in Amazon, Japan, and eBay. Oh, well, good luck hunting. And if I see one, Arc 1, 01, okay, if I see one, I will bear you in mind. HMV in Leeds, they are selling Ultraman and Kaiju monsters. They are, but they're not SH figure arts. Going to the shops. Good night if you're gone when I get back. You take care, Richard. We'll catch you again next time. I hate the new pronunciation of Timu. It's pronounced Timu, not Temu. Well, I don't know about it being new pronunciation. There were
Timu.
A lot of people used to call it Temu before.
Oh, did well. They? Right, okay.
Yeah. In fact, Peaky Arrow, he's always called it Temu as well. Yeah, I'm getting loads of coffee and beer ads. Well, they've got it set for who it is that uses this stuff, haven't they?
To be honest, we don't see it when we're streaming from StreamYard, so sorry.
I do apologise. I wonder if I've changed some setting. If I have, I'll make sure to change it back for next time.
Are they on our screen, or are they those ones that are popping up above the chat window?
Oh, that's interesting.
Those ones happen as well, don't they?
So is it cutting us off?
Yeah, so I can't cut you off, surely, can it?
Don't know. Not too sure why I'm getting these. They're annoying. Okay. Now he's talking about me and you.
Well, the content is available. So we
it's interesting to know. It's interesting to know, is this? Full stream, and yes, it's cutting us off. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Right.
Better fiddle with our settings then. It would appear.
Yeah.
That's quite aggressive of them. Yeah.
Let me try something.
Please stand by. We are experiencing technical difficulties.
Oh, it won't let me change. Oh.
It's probably too late once it started, isn't it?
Probably, yeah.
We can have a look at it for next time anyway, can't we?
Schedule mid-roll ads at a set frequency.
Oh, that would be it.
Select frequency. I can set it to every 6, 12, 18, 24, or 30 minutes. That's too much as far as I'm concerned. Inset mid-rolls manually. Place ads during specific moments of your live stream.
Oh, right. Gosh.
So I can, but I can't. Okay, so it's letting me choose that, and I've just set that, but it's not giving me an option of where to place them. Oh, well. With any luck, you might not get any more now, so we'll see.
No, like you say, you'd only be able to choose them after you'd finished, surely.
Exactly, yes. Some adverts
I've
these
seen
days
that as an option.
out of hand. They are. Right. My hat vid is only 43 seconds. Comparison between game and what I made. Okay. Well, in that case. I was just going to say, shall I play it? But then everyone's going to see it on here, and surely you want them all to go to you to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think they like using other people's content when you're live streaming either. So
no. Instead,
do a linky.
That's what I'm thinking. Share. Copy.
Share.
This is what TJ's talking about. There we are. And Sean says, the ads is cutting me off. It's on his phone. It's typing. It's cutting off on his phone. I'm watching on TV and using my phone to chat. And the phone, it cuts off. Interesting. Right. Interesting.
I do have problems using
chat. Play it, she says. Play it. Like I said, that could take away 10 or 20 views for you. So I won't do this time. We'll see how... See if you get any more views, and then if you don't, then I'll play it next time. No, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. We should do that. We should do a stream where we just go around showing other people's things. I mean, that might not get monetized, but so what?
Well, no, it's yeah, but the problem is it's not just a monetization issue; it's also a you've been a naughty boy kind of issue for YouTube. So you do have to be a little bit careful. Because remember, we got a bit giddy on New Year's.
I thought that was down to the music that was played, though.
Well, I don't know, but I think it was generally just. I think any sort of reuse of other people's contents in a live stream is tricky. I think we'd have to read the rules about it fairly carefully before we tried it. I think.
Okay, something to do.
So,
well, Adam's already had a look. Look, he says that hat is awesome. Gareth, would you like would I like an Elmo you made? Depends. Is it like the real Elmo, which might have done things to kids?
What?
If it is, then no thank you. Show us your bits. That sounds like something from Rum.
Yeah.
But I gave you permission. Yes. Yeah. And it's even written here that you have, but you know how dicky YouTube can be.
That's 20. It's 26 minutes.
What's 26 minutes?
That video link you put on. I thought it was 43 seconds.
Oh, that's a 3-week-old video. Have I put the wrong one up?
I don't know. I'm just going by the duration that TJ mentioned before. That was all.
Would it be under shorts? No, it's not there.
Oh, no.
Videos.
Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Latest. It's on latest here. I can't see anything at 43 seconds. Oh, there's a 41 seconds. My hat is finished. Is that the one that you meant? Right. Okay. Sorry, I got the wrong one. There we are. That's the correct one, ladies and gentlemen. Adam's still here. Skip to the end. Sent his own messenger, Gareth, and made it as a puppet.
I still think of space whenever anybody says that. Skip to the end.
That's actually quite good, is that? His nose looks a bit big, though. Sinking. I feel like the Titanic.
Cool.
Oh,
that's cool.
There we are.
That's like a going to the races hat.
Yeah, there we go. So Sean wants me to share this with you all. This is a puppet that he's made of Elmo.
Oh, that's cool.
Did Elmo have a big yellow nose?
Well, it looks like a Sesame Street character to me.
You can certainly tell it's Elmo. But I appreciate the offer, but I'd certainly have nothing that I'd be able to do with it, Sean. So it'd be a wasted gift, sadly. But no, thank you very much for the offer, the kind offer. TJ, it's finished the hat. I think the hat in the title gives it away. Yes. But there was another one that said hat as well, which I linked. I'm not going to lie, watching Cosmic Council makes me think I'm in a meeting with all my friends. Oh, bless you, Adam. Oh. It is a nice puppet. It's okay, no worries. There we are. Right, okay, I can stop sharing that now, can't I? There we go. Oh, goodness. Have you got anything coming up this next week? You have. I'm sure you've got a video coming out, haven't you?
I have. I've got some things that I picked up from some toy shop somewhere.
Oh, that could be the one I'm thinking of. Yes. Sorry, that now sounds like I'm self-promoting, doesn't it? I just knew that I'd seen that you'd put something up, and I didn't realise which one it was.
It is that one, yes. Coincidentally, it is, yes.
I can't even see it now. Where's it gone? Videos. What did I pick up from Cosmic Toys this time? A surprising number of action figures. Fair enough. And your latest one was that Matchbox thing, wasn't it? Yeah, I'm sure that's something I wanted to talk about today.
Oh yeah.
Because you both you and LOWBOT said that it sounded quite interesting. Yeah, when I was at school, we had a toy library.
Yes, your library, yes.
And it was a case of this was the infants and junior school I went to. And every Wednesday, you could go down at some point in the afternoon. There were only like 2 or 3 kids at a time. So you had to take turns.
Yeah.
And it was a bit like a broom closet, to be fair. Just shelves with toys on it. And there was like a small bucket of Lego. There was a bucket of Duplo. There was... do you remember the game Perfection? You press them things down and things would all pop out. There was stuff like that. There was Pop-Up Pirates. There was all this thing there. These things there. One of my favourites was these sticks with little claws on the end, and you could build up things. And they were a construction type toy,
like Connects or something.
Yeah, a bit like Connects, but long before Connects was a thing.
Oh, right, okay. Cool.
Yeah, long before. Mm-hmm. And strangely, you can get these things now in brand new sparkling neon colours off Temu. Same sort of thing. And yeah, it was 20 pence. I mean, we're talking late 80s. 20 pence to borrow these toys for a week. And you had to bring them back that week, otherwise you had to pay for them for another week. And yeah, your video last night, the Matchbox thing, that is one of the toys that I had out of there once or twice.
Yeah.
And it did take me back. It did. It was fun, was that? So did anyone else have a toy library?
Not that I recall.
No? Does anyone in the chat have a toy library at their school? I don't think it's something you could do now because toys are just too damned expensive.
I bet some, normal council libraries must have them. I would have
You'd
thought.
think so, wouldn't you? You'd think so.
You'd think so.
Yeah. Nice one, Sean. I make puppets too, says TJ. Where'd you get them from, Andy? Cosmic
Do I
Toys.
get them from?
He's talking about
that one. Yes. Funnily enough.
Hello, Patrick. How are you, sir? You well?
As it happens.
The toys you didn't take back from Andy's Matchbox video. Yeah, I did take them back. Otherwise, you just had to keep paying 20 pence every week. I think you only had like 3. If you still had them after a month, so 4 weeks, they would invoice you for the toy.
Even that would add up eventually.
Yeah. Well, back in the day, 20p were quite a bit. It's probably the equivalent to 3 or 4 quid now.
Yeah, actually. I mean, yeah. It's all relative, isn't it? Because that's even back then that could have been more significant sounds.
I have a bugbear, and every year, everyone brings it up and they share these photographs and they complain about the price of them and how much you're getting nowadays. And it's the Roses and Quality Street stuff. Every year, people say, "Oh, look, you used to get great big tins like this," which you did, and now they're like this, and they cost you £5. Yeah, but those big tins were 20 quid back in the 80s.
Were they? Wow.
That's why 1999, and that's why you only got them at Christmas, because they were a really special treat, and it was you were really spoiled if you had one of each. because imagine 20 quid on chocolate back then. It's the equivalent. That'd be the equivalent to like 70, 80 quid now. So yeah,
I'm going to go quiet for a second.
4 and 5 quid tubs don't seem quite so expensive now, do they?
I'm just going to go quiet for a second while I snipe something.
Oh, you go for it. I know it's trying to get something off eBay. No worries, Sean. You take care, mate. Hope you're feeling better soon. Hey, Zombie Hunter, hello. Stickle Bricks. Yes, that was another one that I used to get from the toy library, actually. Yeah, Stickle Bricks. Good shout there. Which school I went to? 13. Well, one of them surely had a toy library. Although if you were flicking through that many of them, they might not have trusted you. Borrow it one week and you'll be gone the next. Accusing poor TJ of doing a moonlight flip with school toys. No, but my youngest son told everyone in his class that I mended toys as a job. The little toy library sounds like a really cool idea for kids. Yeah, it was. It was really good.
Well, that was more than I wanted to pay, but I've got it.
Excellent. What have you got?
I got a rather large Diamond Select Enterprise.
Oh, is it the D? E. D.
D, like that one. They're so hard to find. This one's got a box and everything.
I was this close to ordering you one the other day from this Japanese place I've been getting a load of stuff from. They had one.
They do come up every now and again. It's weird. I don't know why. But,
and I looked at it and I was like, that's not a bad price. But then I thought of the size of the box and I was like, the shipping's going to kill this one.
Yeah, well, that's the problem. It's the combination of the exchange rates can be not bad actually. Yeah. But this guy was telling us he's got this huge collection of Star Trek stuff on eBay. Much of it I would not normally see direct in this country, and I just thought, well, it's kind of this, or I cross my fingers and get one from, and then it's import duties and postage and everything else. But hilariously, and I knew this was going to happen. Hilariously, it started off with a bid price and a buy it now price, and I thought, I bet it's going to end up higher than the buy it now price by the time people have bid on it. That's exactly what just happened. Exactly
really?
Yeah. And in fact, as soon
as someone places a bid, that buy it now disappears.
Exactly, and then things escalate. But hilariously, I just bid against myself. In the sense that I had one bid lined up on my phone, which I bid for. Somebody beat that, so I hit my reserve bid on the screen.
Okay. Fair enough.
To do it in the time.
I'm glad you got it.
Somebody else would have been about to hit another bid, and then they'll run out of times. I mean, I knew that I knew I'd have to do that on that. That was crazy. But
well, I'm glad you got it. I'm glad you got it. So
and
Patrick
didn't work as well, which would be a bonus. So.
Patrick didn't have a toy library, but he does remember a draw to see who would take home the class hamster during the school holidays.
I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. That's going to be a horrible burden to bear if it doesn't make it.
Cosmic Toys is like a figure museum or library for you. Fair enough, but you can't take the stuff home unless you pay for it. And I want more than 20 pence. Didn't have a book library, never mind a toy one. Really? What school doesn't have a library?
I'm sure loads of schools didn't have libraries. I mean,
really? Oh, wow.
I wouldn't guarantee it. It's actually not these. Well, the thing is, these days they just do it. They probably just do it electronically. You know, they probably have an electronic library that you could access.
I don't know. My daughter's school has a very big library. To be fair.
But the problem is, I mean, I think some of them have got cannibalized over time to make more room for classrooms and stuff. You know, it's
possibly
it's a bit swings and roundabouts. I think, you know, unfortunately, yeah.
Most Godzilla I've seen in the shop, and probably will remain that way because not many shops in the UK stock a lot of Godzilla. Apart from obviously the new stuff from from whatever the new films are.
Yes, Monsterverse.
And his face. My dad was in the army.
Could you see the cogs whirring there?
Is that part of our conversation? Because I'm looking at this now thinking I was just throwing out random lines. My dad was in the army. Oh, right. No, so that's why you moved from school to school to school. I get it now.
putting the bricks together there, you can see it building.
Yeah, right. I totally get it now. That's how much my mind wanders, you know. Star Trek stuff. Sorry, guys, I'm out. Patrick, now that you've mentioned school pets, when I was in like year 4 or 5, can't remember. That can't have been that long ago. I had an axolotl tank, and they had lots of babies, so the teacher gave babies to the kids. All right, okay, almost got one. That's interesting. We had hamsters and stick insects. Oh, I remember stick insects. Yeah, we had those at school as well. My parents told me not to bother putting my name forward for them. Yeah, that was my mum as well. Well, I bit the bullet and got the Captain Future comic. Oh, did you know? Over here tomorrow, we'll bring it to show you. Oh, wow. Yeah, oh, wow. I might take some photographs.
I remember when I first found out about that show, actually, I'd never heard of it before, but I think I first found out about it because of a toy. I can't remember if it was I was searching sort of like X-Bomber stuff, or if I was searching something completely different. And you sort of threw this thing up, and I thought, what's this strange spaceship that people are getting excited about? And then, of course, I found out it was an anime that it was derived from, and so on. So it wasn't one of those ones that I'm not sure we ever got an English version of it. I think it was French originally.
I think that's right. When we looked it up before last time, we mentioned it. TJ, thank you for seeing the funny side of that. Good night, all. Hope to catch up soon. Have fun. You're taking that off, Mark? No problem. Hope we get you on here again sometime in the future as well. A person who got the axolotls kept them for only a few days, then they all died. I like the lol at the end. Like, these animals died. Ha. Take care, Mark. Bye, Mark. Bye, Mark. Bye, Mark. Everyone says bye to Mark. Oh, we've had a good mix tonight. Everyone in the chat has been amazing tonight. We really have. Look, everyone's still saying bye. It's been very, very interactive. It's been brilliant. Especially the crossover stuff for the first 45, 50 minutes. I've been very, very good. Yeah. Have we got any plans? I mean, obviously, I've got Toy Fair at Doncaster on Sunday. Has anyone else got any plans this week? Obviously, you've not.
No. So it's a shame to miss Doncaster, but the timing just has to fall quite right for me.
Excellent, TJ.
Could I express it as a percentage of the previous views, and it sounds more impressive?
Yeah. Any of you watch Rampage? I've seen
I've seen a trailer for Rampage.
Yeah, I've seen that film. It's not bad. It's all right. It's okay. It's not Godzilla good. Then again, there's some bad Godzilla films, and it's not Godzilla bad either.
Well, that's okay then.
Yeah. It's a middle of the road film. It was the mad panic running around the pet shop looking for a hamster that looks exactly like the same when it died.
Oh,
Happened every year, and the school could never understand why this hamster had lived so long.
It's a never-ending hamster.
I do have a random buy last week. Bought a full set of Whistling Clangers and Soup Dragon too. Strange buy, but couldn't resist. Fantastic. There's a episode of Doctor Who from the 70s. I think it's 72, 1972.
The Clangers was the Cybermen.
Well, the Clangers were in it.
Clangers were in it.
Clangers were in it. It was the third Doctor, John Pertwee, and the Master. The Master was in prison, and he was allowed a TV in his cell.
Oh, okay.
And he's watching the Clangers. And when the Doctor visits him, he's like, watching this remarkable alien life they've discovered on the moon. They're even communicating with each other. It's remarkable, Doctor. I've never seen anything quite like that. You do realise that's a children's show for entertaining kids. Oh.
Hang on. How did they manage to imprison the Master in the first place?
They'd caught him in the previous story.
I repeat my earlier statement. Yeah, how did they imprison the Master?
Had captured him while the Master was aiming the gun at the Doctor. He had a remote control in the Doctor's in his pocket, which he was operating Bessie, the car with.
Okay.
And he ran him over from behind.
Ouch.
Gently.
You ran him over in a gentlemanly fashion.
So they captured him in the Demons, or the Daemons, however you want to pronounce it, the Demons. And yes, he escaped the following story in Sea Devils. Maybe not the following story, but the following Master story.
Got you.
Since they were from the 90s, they don't whistle anymore. The batteries died. You can't change them, can you?
Oh, no.
People are always arguing about which Godzilla version wins against the other. Everyone knows Godzilla wins. Godzilla. No doubt. Yeah. Thing is, though, nowadays we know which one wins. It's -1. Do you have any toys from the mask line? I have some upstairs in the cabinet. Yes, at the shop.
Yes, there are lots of figures, as I recall, lying horizontally.
Yeah. You'll have to have a look. There's quite a few with their helmets, which is unusual, isn't it? Yeah, it's very unusual. Watch the mask line once. It's funny and good, but still not as good as Godzilla.
Didn't they release the same masked characters but with different masks? Because they had different masks depending on which vehicles they were driving and stuff, didn't they? And the masks changed, so they must be able to milk that like there was no tomorrow.
They also did some different figures of the same characters with different masks as well.
Yes. Yeah.
So different outfits. And
it's very clever.
I have a Miles Mayhem up there. Toy polio. I think you mean toy poloi.
Poloi.
Toy polio is an entirely different thing.
Oopsie. He does clean the cabinets occasionally, you know. So
yeah, once in a
pick up toy polio from them, hopefully.
It's not getting any better. Bring back Centurions. Love that. I never saw it.
You will want to watch my my Monday video then, Mr. Palpatine, sir. It may or may not feature a Centurion.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Pretty sure it will.
I remember when I first got into Godzilla, I was looking on Netflix to see if they had any movies, and then came up on Godzilla 98. Like, what the hell this is this? This isn't Godzilla at all.
No.
Quite right. It's a good monster film, though. It's a good kaiju film. It's just not Godzilla. Catching him with a pile of fish. Yeah. Losing him in the city. No. Knights of the Magical Light. That's
Visionaries.
I would say that's Visionaries, isn't it? That's not Centurions.
No.
Oh.
Centurion is Man in the Machine Power Extreme. I always want to. One of my sort of pet amusements about things like Centurions is the amount of time it takes them to actually have their assault weapon systems beamed onto their bodies. Somebody could have shot them in the head in that period of time before they got any assault weapon systems beamed down from the orbiting space station's Skyvault.
Well, isn't this the same thing with all of these cartoons, animations, whatever, or even films, where in order to send out a certain hit or whatever, they have to power up first? I've never watched it myself, but Dragon Ball, you know, when they have to build up a Kamehameha, one of those things. Well, while he's powering up, why don't the other guys just go up and punch him in the head?
Yep, I agree entirely. There was one in particular where this character was literally, I think it's not called Spy Kids. It's like a Disney-esque series that my lad used to watch. Was it called Lab Rats or something? I can't remember. But basically, one of these sort of bionic teens was literally going, "I'm going to get him. I'm 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 building up power. I'm building up power. I'm building up power." They're stood right next to you. They can just slap you, and you'll be out before you can actually do anything. And this other character's like waiting. Yeah, here I am waiting. I'm waiting to get hit. Just hit me. Come on. It's like just shoot them. Just get rid of them. A new stick for TV.
There's a difference, though, Adam. You just said there Godzilla doesn't run. I assumed you were meaning doesn't run away.
Oh,
Godzilla. Monsterverse Godzilla, he does run, but he ain't running away. He's running towards. Centurions, Visionaries, Ulysses, Lost Cities of Gold, Dungeons and Dragons. They were all great.
And they're all on my website for that very reason. Yes.
Yeah, and the only one of those I've ever watched really is Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah. See, I'm still the youngest.
I know. You need
from Adam.
You need an education, is what you need.
I do. Has anyone seen the new King Survivor game? In my opinion, it looks crappy, and Tiamat is way too small. King Survivor? No. Is this one of these mobile app game things? It means Kong Survivor, but Kong Survivor, I've not seen it. No.
Is Tiamat in?
This is why I'm thinking it might be one of these games. These mobile games. They have a lot of. They're not necessarily official.
Right.
I mean, technically, I think anyone can do Kong right now.
Yeah, probably.
I think King Kong is probably public domain at this point, isn't it? Remember Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom with the guns with the laser that you pointed and then made a noise and you send the dinosaur instead of just shooting their enemy?
What?
Did you not see that? It wasn't the latest Jurassic Park. It was the one before it. But they created a new hybrid between a T-Rex and a Velociraptor. I think it's those two.
Oh, yeah.
And it's got some genetic program in it that when you aim this laser gun at someone and pull the trigger, it then triggers something in the dinosaur's head where it goes and attacks the guy that you've just shot with your laser. Like, why didn't you just put a bullet in the gun?
Shoot them with a laser. Yeah, I mean... Or shoot them with a laser, blind them, then the dinosaur can just pick them off at its leisure. Well,
you see, we wanted deniability. We didn't want to be able to have to own up to these kind of murders. It's like nobody else has pet dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs not known for subtlety.
No. It's a PlayStation game. Okay, fair enough. No, I'm not aware of it, Adam. Sorry. And it's made by Legendary. Okay, fair enough. No. I remember Goku versus Frieza when my kids were at school and they ran home to watch it all week. Basically, Goku powered up for 5 days, telling Frieza how angry he was. It's same in Naruto as well, the same stuff. They'll tell you a story whilst powering themselves up to kill you. Well, for one thing, your story's boring, so I'm going to strangle you to shut you up.
It's like when you realise that Power Rangers...
for all this newfangled stuff.
It's like that point in time when you realise that Power Rangers is exactly the same episode every week.
Over and over and over again, yeah. Do you remember the Godzilla cartoon from back in the day? Before my time, but I know which one you mean, and I have it on DVD, but I've not watched it yet.
I do.
Godzilla and Godzuki.
Up from the depths, the stories hide. Yep. Hanna-Barbera.
That's still it was Hanna-Barbera, yes. Yep. Adding to what Richard said, I think it was the Atrociraptors from Jurassic World Dominion.
That naming is atrocious. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I think it was Dominion. Yeah. Okay, cool. I was going to say, wasn't it Indoraptor? Indoraptor was going to be used for war and was trying to be sold to people. Yeah, I think it was Indoraptor, wasn't it?
They were auctioning them, weren't they?
Yeah, that's right, yes. What was that? Godzilla and Godzuki. Yeah, that's the one they're talking about. They tried to sell a dinosaur war machine. That's right. But you still have to use a gun to point at whatever the dinosaur is going to kill. So why don't you just kill it?
You're going to be on the front line with the dinosaurs about to trample you to death.
Yeah.
To kill the person you're going to.
And there's also the fact that if you're using a gun, there's no chance that the dinosaur is going to turn on you.
Yeah. That could never happen.
Godzilla cartoon with Godzuki are all available on YouTube. Are they now? Okay.
Oh, they must. Well, they're old now. I mean, they must be like a good 60 years old, I would think.
It can't be 60.
Well, they could be 50. They probably came out in the 70s easily.
Oh.
Here we go. It's tippy tapping.
Yeah.
Go on, find out. My money's on late 60s.
I'm a barbarian god. Was it 78?
Oh, that late? Okay.
78 it was, yes. And it only ran for a year. Everyone's got these long-running memories of them, and it only ran for a year.
Have a look at Space Sentinels.
I know what you mean. Yeah. I'm just looking at this. Godzilla Power Hour. Series aired. Blah 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 blah. Does it say how many episodes? 26 episodes across 2 seasons in 1 year. Well, from 1 year to the next, so that's why I'm saying a year. But yeah.
And when did Space Sentinels start? Then did it say?
Space Sentinels. 77.
77.
Yeah, ripping off Star Wars, weren't they?
Well, they were doing quite a clever thing. I think they were trying to cash in on Marvel and DC.
And Star Wars.
so they used superheroes that were sort of based on old gods, kind of, So they had sort of generic goddy type names and abilities, so that they weren't ripping anyone's trademarks off, basically.
And that ran for 13 episodes.
Only 13, wow.
Yeah.
I remember that really clearly. It's funny.
And the series was set in the far distant future of 1985.
There you go, see? Future of the past, kids. You see, that's it. That's the one. It's like space, 1999. Oh, hang on.
Yeah, Patrick's saying 78. For anyone who's watched Skull Island, remember that time when that guy tried to sacrifice himself by getting eaten by the kill crawler, but got tail whipped instead? It's just funny. Not as funny as Kong hitting someone with a child Godzilla. Using it as a weapon, that was fantastic. Late 70s? Late 70s? Any fans of Attack on Titan? There's a live action film.
A live action film.
Okay. Oh, we never did discuss that thing, did we?
No.
I liked it, even though I read the manga and saw
we've got 10 minutes, but perhaps we should see if people want to be spoiled for it before we start discussing it.
Well, we could discuss it without spoiling it, maybe.
Probably.
Right. Has anyone seen the new Gundam show on Netflix yet? It's been up there for less than a week, I think. Is it 6 or 8 episodes long?
What's its official long title now? What is it called?
Gundam Requiem for Vengeance.
Yes.
What did you think to it?
No, I thought it was interesting because it came at it from... I mean, I don't know how often the cartoon did this, but it came at it from the non-Gundam angle.
Yeah, it came from the perspective of the Zeon.
Zeon angle. So I thought that in and of itself was quite interesting. And it does make you think, sort of, they clearly saw themselves as sort of justified freedom fighter types. They're not more organized than that, but they felt they'd been hard done to, therefore it was fair for them to be trying to invade the Earth, whereas obviously the Earth had different ideas. But I always like the way that these series tackle it in real terms, in the sense that they've got to have resupply. So they've got sort of strategic difficulties on the ground because they've got to be able to resupply the mechs with their ammunition and patch them up and everything else. And they've got relatively limited resources to do it with. So they're sort of scrambling around all the time to try and keep themselves fighting. So I thought they'd think it was well done.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed it. There were things about it I wasn't keen on. One of those things being that I was so confused at one point because all of the characters didn't know what a Gundam was. They'd never seen a Gundam. This is the first thing they've ever seen that's a Gundam.
Yes. Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, so this is supposed to be the RX-78 because this is the first Gundam. Yeah? The RX-78-2 apparently being the first Gundam when there was a 1. But yeah. So I was like, oh, so this is supposed to be Amuro Ray inside this Gundam. and no intentions to spoilers here, but it's not. He's not named, but it's not him.
Yeah.
And it's not that. It's actually from much later in the war. So how do all these guys, none of the Zeon army that we see know what this is?
When do they find out? They find out about halfway through or so.
They're told by the guys at the scrapyard, I think. And I'm just like, I'm a bit lost here. So this isn't the first Gundam, but none of them know what a Gundam is. And in all fairness, during that first series and the following series, you see quite a lot of Gundams.
But I thought, you see, I was like you. I assumed or had assumed that was a brand new innovation because none of them had heard of it. So that's why they were all sort of puzzled and taken off guard by it.
So I did wonder if it's actually a new continuity, and it's not Amuro Ray this time. It's just a new Gundam. It's a new kid or whatever. But it is actually set in the original timeline.
It was what, Universal Calendar 79, I think it was set in, was it?
Universal Century.
Century, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, Universal Century. Yeah.
I seem to remember thinking that was fairly early for some reason. I don't know quite why, because I don't know it that well. But
I'm not going over nearly 2 hours worth of stuff. You can watch it back later.
Yeah, there was stuff. Stuff was discussed. So they also referenced those big, what they called them? Did they call them big gyms or something? What did they call them? The ones that weren't Gundams but were sort of mass-produced mecha by the Federation side.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I don't know what they call them, but I know what you mean. One of those is actually in there.
Yeah, and the ones they were trying to steal.
Yeah,
was one of those, but they seem to be new as well.
Yeah,
so I got the impression that they obviously managed to get onto Earth, get a reasonable foothold in various places. So I thought it was fairly young. Now. Yeah, so I thought it was a fairly new invasion. And the Gundam was a sort of a response to that having happened to try and push them back. So I thought it probably was an early Gundam, which is why they hadn't heard of them. So maybe the setting is fairly early. I don't know.
So yeah, Ben. At the moment, we are talking about the new Gundam show. Yeah, it's just apparently it's the 79. Or is that the grunt type one that you're talking about there? That might be the grunt type one. But it's Adam's realised what time it is. Good night, Adam. God bless. Yeah, I think it was just that really that confused me about it. The fact that I couldn't fathom where it was meant to be or where it was meant to be set, and they keep referencing a mission, which is actually a previous Gundam series, which I've never seen. Right. So it actually, I thought with Netflix bankrolling it might have been a case of they'd make it for newcomers or newcomer friendly, and it certainly isn't. It certainly isn't. I think it relies heavily on people knowing the score.
Yes, because it was quite interesting because I was trying to listen to it fairly carefully, and I noticed they mentioned now. I don't know what the official name is. Was it like Minkowski particles or something? And I forget what they do. But in the initial attack before they drop in the Zakus, they mention those, and I've heard those mentioned in Gundam series before. So I did think you've offered no explanation as to what they are, what they do, but I do know that terms, like you say. I think it does seem to assume a degree of sort of back knowledge of it in order for it to work as a concept for you. Otherwise, you probably would be a bit lost, I think. But maybe Gundam's so everywhere now, they just assume that everyone does have a base knowledge of it. I don't know who would be wanting to watch it. I don't know. But yeah.
No, I think it could have done with being a little bit more newcomer friendly. But
yeah, it has. Yeah. It has gun. It doesn't. It had some Zaku tanks.
Yeah, there were Goths and Goths. Yeah. Going to watch 01 again. God, take care, James. We'll be finishing soon anyway. Does it have gun tanks or gun cannon? It doesn't have either of those, but it does have versions of gun tanks. It's a different version because they've got.
They had Zaku tanks, didn't they? They had normal tanks, but they also had a Zaku tank.
Yeah, they had normal. Yeah, and they did have a Zaku sat on a tank. Yeah. Or was that on the back of the? It was on the back of the vehicle.
I thought the Zaku tanks were actually half a Zaku and then tank tracks.
Yeah, it could have
That
been.
was the impression I had.
Yeah, it could have been. Yeah, and there were some which, if you know the gun tank, but instead of it having arms, the arms were guns.
Oh right.
Yeah. Whereas a gun tank has arms. And I'm trying to think now why a gun tank would have arms instead of it having guns. It actually makes more sense for it to have guns. It doesn't really do anything with its arms, does it?
Unless it can push itself along if it's struggling or something. Or maybe it can reload itself.
I will say, overall, the series, I very much enjoyed it. It looks fantastic. It does really look very good. The animation's great on it. The story isn't bad at all. I didn't like the ending, and I won't spoil that because people want to watch it. And the ending for me was just sort of like, oh, right. But she really wants this, and now she's not going to. It made no sense to me. But overall, I enjoyed it. I just didn't like the ending. So I'd give it 7 out of 10 if I was going to give it a rating. 7.5, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was. I thought it was solid as far as it went, and it was kind of. I thought some bits were a little bit sort of.
Let's have a look. Let's have a look at the gun tank. It's been a while since I watched the show with it in it.
That would make sense.
Yes, it does. It does. No, these are actually guns on the shoulders. On the.
Oh yes, so that one they were driving around in reverse was yeah. It had like a shoulder cannon, didn't it? But I quite like that as a concept as well. The fact that you could actually, it could be damaged but still be workable and stuff. I thought that was quite realistic,
There we go.
Clicking.
Right, so there you are. That's the gun tank, yeah?
Yeah.
And yes, it does. It has arms with guns at the end of it. So yeah, that makes perfect sense to me because it can aim all over the place. The ones in the show, it's literally guns coming out of the shoulders.
But they were Xeon ones, though. That's obviously
they were the
Xeon
ones,
isn't it? So
yeah. So yeah, I don't think they had these great big long cannons on top either. That's the one I like. Yeah. I love that design from Gundam Origin. That's
early type.
Yeah, I love that one. Awesome, absolutely awesome.
Cool.
Plus guns on the shoulder. Yeah. Gun tank is awesome. Not the one in that series though. Big fan of the gun tank. Looks a bit like I can see Zoid in there. Yeah, I can see that.
But Gundam would
TJ, take care.
Right, TJ.
Everyone's going now, and I think it's probably a good time to call it a night.
Bedtime.
Yeah, I want to grab a drink and whatnot before bed. So, yeah. But do I have anything coming up? We know what you've got coming up. Do I have anything coming up? Well, I've got 2 videos filmed and just need editing, which I've not been able to do tonight because I've been talking to you a lot.
He has.
There's nothing ready to go. The only thing I do have ready to go, and I might drop them tomorrow, I've got 4. I know you guys are not interested. I've got 4 Masters of the Universe story time reads to go because I used to do quite well. Some of the videos that consistently do well for me are the Godzilla ones. They're reading the storybook. I'm assuming that some kids somewhere listen to them every night before bed. And the thought of that is just lovely, especially if it's kids whose parents can't read to them for whatever reason. So I've ended up picking up some. I've had them ages now. Some Masters of the Universe kids books. I've read them and I've done them as a video, and I'm going to drop them very soon. I've actually gone to the effort of putting sound effects and stuff in this one. So I've put a lot more effort into these than I have the others, and I'm thinking about taking down the Godzilla ones and doing a 2.0 version with sound effects.
But if you're gonna, but you've got to redo the Godzilla ones though if you're going to do that.
That's what I'm saying.
All right, you're going to.
Yeah. I might have both versions live, so people can carry on watching the ones that they've got if they want. But then there'll be another one with raws and patches and whatever else.
I've sometimes actually wondered about that in terms of, could you? I mean, if you took an old enough book, could you just read an entire book? Would anyone then try and harangue you for just reading a book as a video? Because obviously that would be in the audiobook territory, wouldn't it? I suppose
it would. Yes, I think there are people on YouTube that do that.
Mm.
I do think there are people on YouTube that do that. So yeah. Steve says, "Go to sleep, children, or Godzilla will crush your house in the middle of the night." There's, I will say, for some of the characters, I've put a voice filter over it, voice changer. So that obviously I read it all, but then there's certain characters like Beastman, I think Merman, Trapjaw, possibly even.
This is definitely going to have taken you a while. I can
tell. I put a voice filter over them, and I've fiddled around with the settings for the pitch and everything. When they're in a cave, I've tried to add an echo to it. I've really, really gone to town, and I think the Skeletor voice is all me, no filter. That's me. I had fun. I really had fun with that, and. The others have got filters over them, but I did one. It was Beastman, and within CapCut, within CapCut, there's a werewolf option, and I thought, oh, that sounds good, doesn't it? So I put that on, and I listened to it back, and it is horrifying. And I thought any child listening to this before bed is going to be having nightmares, so I took that off.
So I wasn't quite sure which way you were going to jump then, but okay.
Yeah, no, I took that one off. I think I exchanged it for a zombie one because it sounded a bit dumb, which Beastman kind of was. So yeah. Gareth's Nightmare 1997 movie. Yeah, something like that. No. I did not. So yeah, those are going to drop. But like I said, I don't expect you guys to watch it unless you just want to watch it for the laugh. They're not. I'm going to go all modern day Hollywood on here. They're not made for you. No, but they are made.
You handle bedtime stories.
They're made for kids, but I appreciate it if you do watch them. Right, I think we're about done. So, unless you've got anything to say, Andy?
Anything?
No, just anything. There we go, right? Good night, and see you all in 2 weeks.
Ta-ra!
Bye-bye!